Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a tier list video, and I'm going to be very ambitious and try and cover every single character in the Crash Bandicoot franchise. There are 108 characters and I'm about to rank them all. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump into it. So right off the bat we have Crash Bandicoot. He is easily S tier. Fake Crash, he's goofy, I enjoy him. He's not S tier, but I enjoy him enough to give him an A tier. This is controversial. I dislike Evil Crash with a passion, so he's going way down in D tier. Then we have Carbon Crash. Carbon Crash is literally just a palette swap of Crash Bandicoot. He has no character or anything. So unfortunately he's going to go down in D tier also. Baby Crash, I don't like him, but I don't think he's D tier worthy, so he's going to be our first C tier. Now we have the cut character Crash Bandicoot rather. We don't know anything about him other than his appearance. And purple is my favorite color, so I'm going to put him in C tier. If we knew more about his character, he might go up a little higher, but as it stands, he's kind of just like Shadow the Hedgehog for Crash. Okay, then we're going on to Mecha-bandicoot. Many people don't think this counts as a character, but in some of the cut stuff, it's revealed that he has a brain, and he was able to get to the 10th dimension without anyone's help, so he's technically a character. So he'll go, and he's our first B. I like him. Coco, easily S. Love me some Coco. And then Evil Coco, we know barely anything about her. But we did have Dark Coco in Nitro Fueled. I don't know. I don't hate her as much as I hate Evil Crash. I'd give Evil Coco, I'd put her in B. She deserves B. And then Baby Coco, same reason. I dislike Baby Crash. She'll go in C. Fake Coco is disgusting and I hate her, so she's going D. Now we've got Tana Bandicoot. Tana will go, I don't know, this is tough because Tana, she didn't really even have a character at all. And it wasn't until Nitro Fuel that they brought her back. I'll give her B. She deserves a B. Then we've got alternate Tana. She'll go in B as well. Then we've got Isabella. Isabella goes in C. Everyone loves Amy. And guess what? I hate Amy. So Amy's going in D tier. Then we've got Mrs. Bandaboy Magazine Liz. She will go in C tier with Isabella. And then Megumi. I think Megumi is very, very cute, so she is going to go into A tier with Fake Crash. Now we have the Boom Bang Girls. She just looks like an Isabella or Tana clone. All she does is show up in some mini games, so it wouldn't really be fair to put her any higher than C tier. Then we got Crash Bandicoot. Obviously, he's going in S tier. And now that's all the Bandicoots. So now we're going to jump over to the masks. So we got Aku Aku, clearly S tier character. And Uka Uka, another S tier character. Apo Apo. I like Apo Apo because of my headcanon on where he exists, but I don't know if I should take that into consideration on why I like Apo Apo. So I would give him S based off my headcanon, but we're gonna stick him. We'll put him in B tier. Now the unnamed mechanical mask from Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2, I believe, on the mobile device. He literally just told you what to do for missions and stuff. He didn't really have any character. He doesn't even have a name, so he's gonna go down in D tier, unfortunately. Poor guy. And then we have the unnamed Terran mask that Jurassic Crunk had. Again, similar to the mechanical mask, he didn't really have any character at all, so we're going to put him also in the D tier just to be fair. And now the Velo mask. Velo mask, I'm just going to keep repeating the same thing. They don't have much character to them, but Velo, at least Velo, technically is the Velo mask even his name? I mean, I'm sure that's what they call it, but that's not even a name. We'll bump him up one tier from the other two. Rocco the Elemental. He gets a B tier. I think I'm going to put all of the Elementals in B tier because I like them. I like them more than the Quantum masks, believe it or not. And then we had like the Mark Hamill voice for Pyro. And there we go. The only thing I never liked about Lolo is he's supposed to be a wind elemental, but every time he shows up, he does like lightning attacks. Okay, so now we just got the Quantum masks, and like I just said, I like the elementals more than I like the Quantum masks. I mean, technically, I think Kapuna was the only one that I actually liked more than the elementals. So we're going to put the elementals minus Kapunawa in C tier. And then Kapunawa herself, I like her, she's going to be A tier. Now we're moving on to the bosses. So, Papu Papu. Papu Papu's been in a lot of games, and he has magic powers in some games, like he summons the Crash clones. You know what? Papu Papu's gonna get a B. Papu's B. And now the cut character Kapu Kapu, or Kapu Kapu, I believe, like captain of the ship. We don't know anything about him other than he existed to transport Crash to different islands. Technically, he's in the game because his dialogue boxes pop up when you get on the ship. So he is there, you just never see him. But other than transporting Crash, that's the extent of his existence. So he's going to get D. The Tribesmen, I really wanted the Tribesmen to be playable characters in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. We got the Lab Assistant, it only seems fair. They're gonna get C tier. Then we got Rilaroo, easily S tier. Rilaroo is one of my favorite characters. Koala Kong might be controversial, D tier. I don't like Koala Kong at all. Now we go to Pinstripe. Pinstripe is easily an A tier. I like Pinstripe a lot, his Mafia and all that. And then these two are his Mafia grunts. You see them in the background of Sewer Speedway and Hot Air Skyway. They were in the first game. He would shoot guns at you and he would throw barrels at you. They don't really have any characteristics other than that. They're pretty much just random fodder characters. So they're going to go down in D tier. Good old Brio, A tier. Don't even got to think about it. He's not the best character there is, but I like Brio a lot. Now we got Cortex, easy, S tier for me. Let's see. Robot Cortex, or Robo Cortex. I wasn't going to include him as a character because he was just a skin, but then in Crash on the Run, he exists as a character separate from Cortex. So he's just a mechanical version of Cortex. So I would I guess to be fair, I'd put him with the mechanical version of Crash, so he will be B tier. Baby Cortex, hate Baby Cortex, so he's going to be with Baby Crash. And then we've got Mama Cortex. The only appearance for Mama Cortex was just an audio appearance in Crash Twinsanity when Cortex and Crash humiliscate through Ulan Cortex Club, and you hear Cortex say, "Mother?" as she screams at him. So other than her portrait in Crash 4 and her screaming in Crash Twinsanity, she doesn't have any character at all. So she's gonna, just to be fair, we're gonna put her down in D tier with Fat and Slim. And then Cortex's father, who we assume is his father, he's gonna go right there with his wife. D tier, because we don't know anything about him, like, period. Other than that picture, we don't even get a cameo scream from him. And then we move on to the lab assistant, last quote-unquote character from Crash Bandicoot 1. He is iconic, and he has so many different forms. It doesn't seem fair that I'm going to put the tribesman down in C tier, but then I'm going to put the lab assistant in B tier. So lab assistant gets B tier. I enjoy the lab assistant. Komodo Mo and Komodo Joe. Komodo Mo I have never liked, period. I didn't mind that he didn't show up in the original Crash Team Racing, and then when it took a while for him to get into Nitro Fueled, I didn't really care. I wanted him there for completion's sake, but he gets D. I don't like him. Komodo Joe, D. No, Komodo Mo, D tier. Komodo Joe, now, I liked his snake-like voice, and his level was awesome. He gets easy B tier. Tiny Tiger, don't even gotta think about it. Tiny's getting S. Engine, easy B. Easy B Engine. Engine would get an S rank, but he's changed so drastically, I feel. He's back to his roots now that Crash on the Run takes place at the end of the timeline, so he looks and acts the same way as he did in the originals. But when he got into his whole emo phase, I didn't really enjoy that. Now we're moving on to the mount characters. Did not include the Warthog because he's the Warthog. He doesn't even have a name. We don't even know if it's the same Warthog every time. So Warthog was not included. Not memey enough for me to put him in there. Or too memey for me to put him in there. So Polar, I like Polar. Polar's getting an A. So is Purr. I'm just going to put all the mounts up here in the A tier because I enjoy all of them. Baby T, I called Eggapus Rex for years because of the secret level Eggapus Rex, so I just called him Eggapus all the time. Everyone always told me I was wrong. His name is Baby T in the manual, blah, blah, blah. I didn't care. He was Eggapus. So he was Eggapus to me up until he showed up in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, and they called him Baby T. Now we got Penta. Penta in Crash Team Racing was the most mind-blowing thing I ever experienced. And his Penguin Yay 1 and all that, he's easily getting S tier for me. He was like, I remember the day that I unlocked him. It was a snow day from school, and I was playing Crash Team Racing because it was relatively new. And I don't remember where I got the code for it, but I put the code in, and Penta Penguin showed up, and he was just like this cute little penguin with a purple scarf, and I just fell in love with him. I used them a lot. And now Penta's girlfriend, Gurin. Gurin just showed up in the manga, and she was in love with Crash, and then at the end she was not in love with Crash. She was just like a silly girl. So she has more character than a lot of the D tier characters, but not much more. So while I think she's adorable looking, I don't feel it doesn't feel right to put her above anything other than C tier. So she'll sit there. Dingo Dial, like I just say, no brainer putting them in S. I don't know if that's gonna upset people that I don't explain why I give them S tier, but I think Dingo Dial, ever since he first appeared in Crash Warped, he's been one of my favorite characters. Now we go to Tropy. I actually like Tropy a lot more before he appeared in Crash 4. I feel like his Crash 4 appearance made his character worse, I guess. I don't know. Tropy's not going to be S tier, and I don't think I'm going to give him A tier. I think I'm going to give Tropy B tier. And then Fem Tropy, we'll just stick her right there. Right next to him. Baby Tropy. Don't like baby characters, so he'll go with the other baby characters. You know what? Let me move Coco over there, just so they're all... There we go. All the babies can just, you know, sit right there. Move over there, Crush. Okay. And Oxide. And Oxide, to me, he was kind of jumping the shark because he was an alien, but then it was revealed that Tropy was an alien, and we also had the aliens in the Area 51 game, or level on Crash Warped. So there were aliens before him. He goes B. He goes B. I don't want to give him A or S, but B is fine. Zem and Zam. Literally hate them. They're both going in D tier. Zem and Zam feel like they exist just to fill out the roster to give Oxide teammates. I know Zem's name stems from Zimbalist, the artist, but frankly, I don't like Zem or Zam. Now here comes Mr. Meme himself, Iron Checkpoint Crate. Iron Checkpoint Crate. People are probably going to dislike this, but Iron Checkpoint Crate, he is easily going to get... I know I keep saying don't have character, but he technically has character to me. When he loses, he's on his side, so his checkpoint looks like a frowny face. He shakes and goes crazy. He's actually a boss in Crash on the Run. He has different variants, so he's not going to get D tier with all these others. He gets a C tier. He doesn't get the bottom of the barrel, but he's pretty close to the bottom. King Chicken. King Chicken is so goofy, and he will go right here in B tier. King Chicken's wild. Now we've got some of the characters that were in the background of Crash Team Racing. Nitro Fueled, we've got the Pumpkin Lord character from Nina's Nightmare. He was pretty monstrous, and he would slam his feet down into the ground. I enjoyed him, and if we ever get a platforming game that takes place in Nina's dreams with the Psychotron, I would really want to see Pumpkin Lord as a more fleshed out boss of her nightmares. So he's gonna get C tier. King Jelly. I don't know why, but I think he's just adorable. He's literally just the jelly with a crown. I assume he's the leader of that Gingerbread Joyride, the world there, because he's the king. So he's actually going to get a B tier. King Chicken, King Jelly. The T-Rex chicken from the prehistoric level. I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember the name of the level. But you guys know him. You see him running on the sidelines before you actually encounter him, and he drops down in front of you. He was just a screaming chicken dinosaur, so he's going to get good old D tier. Now we've got Hasty. Hasty exists because of the Fasty urban legend that people believed there was Fasty the hippo. And, yeah, Fasty transformed into Hasty. He's literally just a moose. And, you know, my name's Tom Moose, so we're going to give him a B tier. Not just because his name is Moose, but because he had wild catchphrases, and I liked all his skins. Hopefully he'll get fleshed out in a future game. We'll see. Yaya Panda. She is very adorable, and I like Yaya Panda, so she's going to get an A tier. She first appeared in the mobile racing games, and then it wasn't until Nitro Fueled that she had a voice and stuff, and I just think she's precious. She's very close to S tier, but we're going to leave her an A tier. Rilaroo, my boy. He is getting B tier. I hated his original design and Nitro Fueled, but I'm glad they changed it. Bearminator, literally just a big polar bear. So, you know, I don't know. It's a toss-up between C and D tier. I guess I like him more than all these D tier characters, so I'm going to put him in C tier. Now we got the Crumb Crew. Mr. Crumb is pretty cool looking. I know he was very memed because they were trying to bring him back into Nitro Fueled from the 99X game, but his appearance in On the Run, he looks really cool, and I like his abilities and his voice. He's easily getting B tier. Now his minions, on the other hand, Thorn Thing is really awkward looking. I don't like Thorn Thing. Thorn Thing, he'll get C. And then I don't know anything about Digger or Grumbler because they're just sprites in the 99X game. Would you even call them sprites? They're just LCD characters. So they're going to go down here in D tier because it wouldn't feel fair to put them anywhere else. Nina Cortex. Nina is easily B tier. I like Nina. So we're going to put Nina right up here next to Mr. Crumb. There we go. Nina's in B tier. With Nina, we jumped into Twinsanity characters. So Madame Amberly. I've never liked Madame Amberly ever. She's getting D tier. Rusty Walrus. Oh boy, fresh meat for my pot. I liked Rusty a lot, and I was sad that he didn't show up in Nitro Fueled. He had the cameo, the spray paint, and the kind of indentation in the wall, but he's gonna go B tier. I liked Rusty. Farmer Earnest. What's there to say about Farmer Earnest other than he's going D tier? Sorry, Farmer Earnest. Tikimon, you are going D tier also. It'd be cool if they showed up in other games or they were more fleshed out in the games that they appeared in. But literally Tikimon, we don't even know if he existed like prior to the evil twins infusing him with their energy, or if he's just like a statue they brought to life. It'd be cool if we had more information on him. And now the evil twins. Victor and Mortitz. They're both going to be C tier. They're kind of like a package deal. So they're just going to both go right there. Had they done more in the game, like literally the only time you saw them in game was at the very end of the game. They were just cutscene characters, which you could say for most of Crash games, but this was more, it wasn't a hub world game, it was more exploration. It felt like a sandbox game, and I feel like they could have used them much more than they did. Okay, now we've got the Megamixes. I'm going to do this one first because that is the original Megamix from the Huge Adventure. Right after the battle ended, he got defused, so that was him. He didn't have any character. All he did was run in a straight line. So I'm basing this purely off his design, and I'd give him a C tier. And now Megamix 2, he came to be because of toxic waste in the Rustland. That's how he exists. I liked him. I liked how they mashed together all the voices, and in my headcanon, he is the big bad of the Rustland. So he's going to be B tier. I liked him a lot. Entrance. He will also get B tier. I liked Entrance. He doesn't have many appearances in the franchise, but when he does appear, he's pretty goofy looking. Now we're moving on to the CNK bosses. Literally, these bosses just felt like they were trying to redo Crash Team Racing. Like, Nash is the crazy character that fit for Rilaroo. Krunk is literally a monkey version of Papu Papu. The Norms replace the Komodo brothers, and then Geary's all like obsessed with cleaning, and Rilaroo's a mafia guy, and mafia guys always like to be clean and upkept. So I feel like these are just copies of the CTR bosses. So that being said, I'm gonna put Nash. I don't like them enough to put them up in B tier, but it feels bad to put them in D tier. So we're gonna put Nash in C, Krunk in C, the Norms in C, and then because, like I said, they all feel like copies, and it's a real stretch to say that Geary and Pinstripe are the same just because they both like to be clean, but Geary got crapped on and nitro fueled. He didn't get any skins ever. But now, he's the only one who has appeared in Crash on the Run where all the other characters are left out. And I really liked his legendary skin. So he's going to get to be B above everyone else. And then we've got Robo Velo. I like the original Steve Blum voice. I don't know why they didn't get him back for nitro fueled. He'll go up with Geary B tier, and then Real Velo, he'll go down with his minions, C tier. We're almost done. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel now. We've got Boom Bang, CTTR. We've got some mutants, and then some cut characters. Oh no, and we've got Luis down there from Crash 4. So Viscount. People call him Viscount. I used to call him Viscount. He's Viscount. I like Viscount a lot. I was sad when he didn't show back up in Nitro Fueled. He's getting B tier easily. Easy B tier. And we've got Ebenezer Von Clutch. Ebenezer is like a pickle man. He's a pickle cyborg man. He's not cool enough to be in B, but he's not bad enough to be in D, so he'll go in C tier. Pasadena. Pasadena will get a B. I enjoyed Pasadena. And now we got Chicken Stew. Similar to the Evil Twins, these guys are kind of like a package deal. I'm going to put them both in B tier. I like them. Now we're moving on to Willy Wumpa Cheeks. Willy was the main baddie in Crash Tag Team Racing. I liked Willy. Willy will go in B as well. Okay, and now we've got the NPC Park Drone from Crash Tag Team Racing. He will go down in C tier along with the other non-playable characters, the Tribesmen. Okay, now we're into the Titan games. So I included Scorporilla because in Crash on the Run, it really feels like Scorporilla is a character rather than just a Titan. Like it had Scorporilla. I believe it's a she, but it looks like a he to me. The character has sentience now. It doesn't just feel like some random feral animal out in the woods. Kind of like how Dingodile is Dingodile. Scorporilla feels like Scorporilla now. So Scorporilla, and then Yuctopus doesn't need anyone to pilot him. He literally just fights you. So Yuctopus and Scorporilla both feel like actual characters to me. And I know you can say, well, none of the Titans needed anyone to pilot them to fight you, but Yuctopus was like set up like an actual boss. So I'm going to put Scorporilla up in B tier. And Yuctopus, I think he'll be okay. He'll go in C tier. Now we've got the Pink Elephant from Crash on the Run. Pink Elephant was originally supposed to be in Crash to Insanity and Gone a Bit Coco. But Pink Elephant's got like a cool dance now and a goofy voice. He's not D tier, and again, it would feel bad putting him up in B tier, so he'll go in C tier. And then we got Luis from Crash 4. Just felt like a brainless fish monster, going in D tier. And now we're on to the last three characters. This is Land Shark, who would have appeared in the Crash Team Racing 2010 game that never came out. It's just like a shark in a go-kart with a beard made of like seaweed. It feels unfair to not put him in D tier because we know so little about him, but I really like his design, and I'm putting him in C tier. Bandicoots. Bandicoots, so precious. They were in Crash Landed, I believe. I mean, I don't believe, I know that's the game he was going to be in. He was going to be in Crash Landed, the canceled game. Dingo Dial was going to like scatter them throughout the lands, and you were going to have to find them. I thought they were really cute, and again, it's not fair that I'm putting them as high up as they are compared to other characters, but the Bandicoots get B. We're going to put the Bandicoots up there. And then we are brought to our last character, Catbat. Literally one appearance in one of the epilogues of Crash Bandicoot 4. We don't even know what gender Catbat is, and people speculate that Catbat is going to be in the Wumpa League game that's coming out, supposedly coming out. So Catbat, we don't know enough about you, Catbat, but I know that I like you more than the D tier characters, so we'll give you a C. And that is my ranking of all of the Crash Bandicoot characters. So the only S tier characters we have are Crash Coco, Crunch, Aku Aku, Uka Uka, Rilaroo, Cortex, Tiny, Penta, and Dingo Dial. A tier, I agree with this. Like, even looking back at it, S through B are all characters that I enjoy, and C and D are characters that I could live without. But yeah, so that's my ranking of all of the Crash Bandicoot characters. This video is going on over half an hour now. I will share a link in the description of this video if you guys want to use this template that I've created. And let me know if you agree with where I put people. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.